The indisputable myth of perfect clients. I can't read the rest of this, but I'm about to. Let me make sure the old Facebook is muted. It wasn't. I'm glad I made sure it was. And
so you don't have to worry about that if you wear earbuds.
That's right.
Yep. It says the indisputable myth of perfect clients. Do perfect clients even exist?
Yes.
And
can you figure out what traits make them perfect? How many traits do they need to have?
What do you need to know and understand? Or what do they or then?
Oh, it should say they, but it was
okay.
Typo. Yeah.
No problem.
What do they need to know and understand to believe in order? Yeah.
Right. All right, cool.
So these are the questions we want to ask. And here's why, guys. So Joshua and I have been doing business online for a cumulative 40 years, I believe, if I did my math right.
I'm old.
Right? Yeah.
And 17 for you, 23 going on 24 for me.
Exactly. And so we've had millions upon millions upon millions of subscribers each that we're both writing to on a regular basis, creating offers for, creating funnels for, creating products for, coaching, advising. We've both been flown around the world for private consulting. We've been paid exorbitant fees for our minds by some of the smartest marketers in the world, I might add. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because we've been around for a long time. We've done a whole bunch of stuff, and
we still suck.
We still suck.
Or we still struggle, I should say. Not suck, but we struggle.
But here's the thing: the struggle is real, and it never ends. As an entrepreneur, that's something you should be aware of. Is no matter how good you get, you never stop struggling, because there's always something new that screws up. Like you're always presented with a new obstacle, a new challenge.
It's at least for me, I don't know if you feel this way, but it's so much easier for me to go in and work with somebody else, a client, and, in depth, whether that's, doing it for them or with them or just consulting with them. I can see that so clearly. But when it's our stuff and I'm in the thick of it, the mud, the bud, and the flood of all of it. And it's like all of a sudden I become an idiot.
Yeah, well, but this happens to almost everyone, right? And being able to overcome those insecurities or foolish thoughts about ourselves, that's what makes the difference between when you're completely destroying it and completely crushing it on a continual basis and when you're not.
Yeah.
Right? Is being able to find that balance. So right before this live stream, which is why we're starting a little bit late, Joshua and I had a meeting. And on that meeting, we were discussing perfect clients. And specifically, we're talking about perfect NPOD clients, right? Perfect clients that when they go through our trainings, they come out the other side even awesomer than they were to begin with, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, who are the rock stars? And we have some advantages in figuring this out, to be fair. Joshua, you've sold thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of NPOD and other variant products and philosophies and training programs and coaching programs that build on the original principles of NPOD and Income for Life in various forms over the years, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Allie, Allie, what is up, my friend? It is good to see you. We should hang out soon. I hope that your trip was out to see your mom, right? I think your mom. I hope it went well. Been thinking about you. So please say hi to Joel. We should go running soon. Or biking. We should go biking soon because he's not running much. Maybe I'll take my bike down there and we'll go for a ride. So perfect clients, do they actually exist? Totally got distracted. Thank you for that, by the way. Actually,
do you want me to pick it up?
I'd actually like to tell you a crazy story about Allie. So okay. Allie's interesting because we only met a little over a year ago, and we met at the I'm not going to go into all the details, and please don't fill in any blanks to respect privacy. But we met at the magic school, and at the magic school, we were just talking, and we were in a class together, and discovered that her husband was the younger brother of one of the guys that I ran cross country with in high school.
Neat.
And I knew him, but he was several years younger, so we weren't like real close in high school, because he was like a freshman when I was a senior or something like that.
Right.
And or maybe even younger. He might have been in like 6th grade when I was a senior. And so we were far enough apart that, you know, like we crossed paths a bunch, but like didn't have a lot of interaction. And his family used to love Tellman salsa. Like they were one of the biggest fans of Tellman salsa. And so it was funny to meet at this interesting magic school under those types of circumstances. And we ended up becoming great friends. So it was cool.
Yeah, it's like every so often I'll bump into somebody that knows my family in Boston's kosher butcher store, like because it was a staple for 100 years.
Like Rakia, for example.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Totally.
and they're like, you're Shafran's Meats or Jacob, you know, and it's like, well, yeah, my family.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
So that's interesting. I'm going to write this down. Okay. So I'm going to make a new Google Doc. And we're going to make a list of the traits that we think of as perfect. Like when you think of perfect clients, Joshua, and I really urge you, because we've both played ball significantly in both the internet marketing training, even over into BizOp category. And we've also done, respectively and completely separately, a ton of stuff in the personal development category in terms of niche and markets over the years, right? And so, and obviously having clients that are well-versed in both areas and passionate about both areas, that's something that makes a big difference. But when you think about people who have significant financial business success utilizing NPOD and its variants, what are some of the traits either the traits, the beliefs that they need to have about the world, about themselves, or the knowledge?
I want to back up and talk about this concept of perfect clients or ideal clients.
Okay.
And the reality is that they aren't already ideal from what I can see. They aren't already perfect coming into the relationship. They need to be, they might have all the core things in terms of how you can serve them and how you can interact with them and all of that. But for them to be an ideal client or prospect, there's some things that need to happen prior to that will, you know, that if you can do your job to enlighten them or raise their level of awareness and, you know, step up their game a bit, that then they come to you not only now they are ideal clients because they understand what they need to in order for you to help them the most. And when I say you, I mean us. You know, in terms of being able to contribute and have the biggest successes inside the processes and the systems that we have in place for them. And, you know, combined with that is them coming into the conversation already believing, already understanding some of the core concepts that are necessary so that we don't have to do any kind of brain surgery or you know, like we're not trying to audition who we are, what we have, that type of thing. That they come to us predetermined to understand what the key things are that we can do with them,
right? And
that they already understand a level of influence with us that's at least comfortable enough where they look at us with some sort of an expertise or authority.
Right. I totally agree. It's almost like they read the handbook before they showed up to class. You know what I mean? And so, like, what's covered in the handbook?
The way that I like to think about it is like, if
I like that. Nobody's released a handbook in a while.
That was all the rage along with playbooks at some point. But the way that I like to think about it is like as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as people that whether it's building a practice or some sort of consulting practice or practitioner like a health and wellness type thing. There are things that we wish that people understood.
Yeah.
Coming into that, they knew, that they got. And there's things about like the way that other people do it versus the way that we do it. There's that we wish that we understood, that they came to us already understanding it and accepting it. And those are the insights that if you can build that into your marketing process, those are to me, that's what makes for a perfect client. So like in our case, I think there's probably maybe 5 big chunks, if you will, that that we have to help people see and that they have to accept and understand in order for them to have success with what we're doing. And in general, I mean, like having success in general, if we engineer it right, which is the way I personally like to do it, is like success overall, like universal, whether it's working specifically with us or in life. These are the missing ingredients that are keeping you from having what you want to have, the results that you want to see in your life.
I agree. So okay, so I'm taking notes on this Google Doc, which I will share with you, by the way.
Okay.
And I'm going to call this the perfect client. Right? Save, and then where you go, boom, and send. So, we're going to start by saying, all right, well, who are we really talking to? And the largest email lists that I have and that we have are mostly my hypnosis, money mindset, abundance mindset, law of attraction-ish type lists that I've been building for the last decade or so.
Right.
And that's where I have the biggest following right now. And most of those people are at the point where they're just considering starting their first online business or looking toward the internet for a way to make money, especially now more than ever, given the state of the world. Right?
Or they're finally like looking to not be a professional student and finally, like they've been trying different things and pursuing different things and they've been interested in it, whether it's, network marketing or, some sort of internet based stuff or e-com or whatever. They've been playing at it, but now they realize that it's time to do more than play because they need an alternate source of income.
Interestingly, these particular clients don't always respond well to things about meditation, about manifestation, and they don't always respond well to law of attraction. Mm-hmm. But what they do respond really well to are, over the years, are hypnosis sessions for money mindset, for wealth mindset, for abundance, for overcoming procrastination. One of our best selling sessions is called the Get Shit Done session. So it hypnotizes you to be more productive. So it's basically a spiritually, metaphysically inclined group of folks who are totally all in on hypnosis and certain other related aspects of kind of alternative spirituality, metaphysical, personal development, right? With a heavy emphasis on wanting to apply it to make more money in their lives. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's kind of the pond, so to speak, that we're fishing in. That's the group of people that I've developed the largest following around over the last decade. So now, by the way, let's do a little, if I should be wearing a hat right now. I don't even have a hat within freaking, yes, I do. All right. This is one of my running hats. Superpowers, in case you didn't know. And a little tip of the hat. I'll even take the hat off for Tim Irway, who has been introducing us to this particular way of thinking. And so a lot of these terms that we're using right now, we're totally pulling from Tim's playbook. So thank you for sharing those with us, Tim. So we want to talk to you a little bit about where, how, and why it sucks. This is called Suckville, right? Suckville. So if you're a money mindset, metaphysical student of personal growth, you like hypnosis, you like wealth hypnosis, you buy into that stuff and it works for you, helps improve your life. What is the situation that, like, what sucks for you right now? What is Suckville? Joshua, why don't you hit me with just paint me a picture of Suckville. I'll paint a picture of Suckville, and then we can do that with the opposite of Suckville. Awesome town, right after.
Okay. Well, Suckville, I think for a lot of people, besides just that uncertainty of where the income's going to come from and not feeling like comfortable with that, that they can have a consistent stream of income coming in. But I think that there's a big tug of war in people because there's a lot of stuff that they've tried and that they've experienced that's icky, and that like is very salesy and very not in the best interest of the people that they're trying to serve. That they don't put the clients first and that type of thing. So I think there's a battle of minds sometimes that you have in order to have success in the online world and to generate an internet-based business income stream. There needs to be, you've got to sacrifice your integrity and your values and your approach to, you got to be a sellout. And I don't want to be a sellout. I don't want to be, I don't want to sell my soul just to make money. And there's this feeling of that, well, at least I'm happy. Like I may not be rich, I may not be, having all this, but at least I'm happy. And that seems to be a standard saying. And in reality, they're really not all that happy because they're stuck, and they're saying that as a feeling to like make them feel a little bit more at ease and relief in that. But they're really kind of pissed that they feel like that it's an either or sellout conversation, and that you can't build a business serving other people and doing it with integrity and also doing it in a way that's congruent with who you are and what you stand for.
Yep.
So I think that becomes a big piece of the limitations that they come in with.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to name any names, but I had a text conversation fairly late last night with strangely a different younger brother of a different friend that I went to a different school with. And that's really funny. And who happens to live on an island. Just to make sure it's a totally different person. It totally is. And this guy is a badass. Like, he's in amazing shape. He built his own home. He's like living in the woods, homesteading, broadcasting on Facebook, and he got involved with a high ticket item, long-standing kind of MLM structured company, and for the love of God, isn't making any money. And his friend, overseas got him into it, and he can't figure out what he's doing differently and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yo, how much money do you want to? A total hippie, total hippie style. This guy, very sharp, very smart, very hardworking, and he's just like, I'm like, how much money do you want to make? He's like, $16,000 a month. I'd love to be at 20. I'm like, all right, this is good. He's got some aspirations. Awesome. And like, I've met this guy, a bunch of years ago, but like, we've hung out, and he's great. And then he might be watching right now. And I was like, well, how much are you making right now? He's like, well, my friend who's selling these things just had her first 6-figure month. I'm like, great. How much are you making right now? And I was like, how are you paying the bills in the meantime? And he has a side business that he's doing that's more local. That's more of a time for money kind of a gig. And he's like, well, it's what I'm doing right now is new, and my friend's doing it too, and making $10,000 a month. I was like, good. I don't care about your friends. How much are you making per month? And he's like, I get by on 1,000 or less. And I'm like, dude,
he still didn't say.
this isn't. Yeah, but still, he said, about 1,000, maybe less, right?
But if his exact words were, I can get by on about 1,000 a month,
right. Yeah,
then that doesn't mean that that's what he's generating from that business.
That's true. One way or the other, it's less than $1,000 a month. And I was like, dude, your problem isn't not knowing how to sell these things. Your problem is that your mindset's not right. I mean, if your mindset is not right, you can't make 20 grand a month if you're just barely scraping by on 1,000. And we need to work on your mindset. And so really having that, there are a lot of reasons that we can keep stuck and keep our money thermostat low. But one of the biggest ones, just to circle this back around to what you were saying, I don't know if this is his issue or not, but one of the ones is that people with money are evil. I mean, bottom line is that if you have money, you're a sick fuck who's taking advantage of people.
Yeah. So if I get rich, or if I start making that 16,000, what's up, Gene? If I start making that kind of money, then that means that I'm an evil overlord. I'm part of the machine now that's gonna, and I have to start hating myself. So subconsciously, I'm gonna, who wants to be that?
Right. So one of the things that people, and we can word this differently. What is that we need to have people get over the belief that rich people are evil, and that people are people and rich people are rich people. Right?
Well, yeah. And that, I mean, one of my earliest mentors used to say something that I don't know whether it's an original statement or whether he stole it from somebody else, but he would say money just makes you more of who you already are.
That's right.
So if he would say, if you're an asshole before you have money and you now have more money, or now you're making money, you're a bigger asshole.
Yep. Yeah. And there are a ton. I'm not really good at rattling quotes off the top of my head, but you guys have heard them your whole life. So, okay. So I got that written down as one of the beliefs that people might need to overcome. We'll probably come up with a lot more than 5. We might have to narrow these down. So,
right. I mean, but I think at the end of the day, they've got to, there's two levels of belief that, or 3, right? There's belief that it's that what you're telling them is true, is real. So just relating it back to the story that you told about your friend in the thing, the reason why he's telling you what everybody else is making, and that a friend of his is making her, just had her first 6-figure month, is because now he's got at least belief that it does work. It is real. It's true. It actually will work. But now he needs to go to the second level, which is believing that it's possible for him to do it. And then connected with that is does he even want to, does he realize that he's got some deep-seated resentment about money or people with money? And I'm not saying that he does, but I'm just saying that's kind of the progress. And if you're just looking at it from that standpoint, it's believing that there's something out there that's legitimate, that can work, that is actually working for other people, that isn't just complete bullshit.
Trash, right.
Yeah, that isn't a scam. And then it's believing that it can work for them, not
right.
or for other people, right? Like the testimonials, that's where testimonials come in. Well, it's working for everybody else, great. But then I guess the third level is, will it work for you? Personally.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that's definitely the journey overall that's going on. But then specific to us, there's the money mindset, there's the professional student mode, I get up every morning and I meditate and I stay positive and I say my affirmations and I listen to good quality stuff. I plug those headphones in, and it makes me feel good. Unfortunately, I'm just not, like the law of attraction just isn't working for me, or, I must not be, I must be doing something wrong, or I must not be working hard enough at it, or, because I'm not seeing the results that I want to see happen manifest, or I'm not seeing the prosperity, coming into my life that I truly want. But I'm never going to give up the faith. I'm going to continue to go to those, the workshops, because I enjoy them. I'm going to, continue to plug in those, the MP3 recordings. I'm going to go onto YouTube. I'm going to, because all of that stuff, makes me feel positive and fulfilled. And I can tell you all of the different things that I'm learning, and I can probably, teach it better than the people that are teaching it to me. I can teach it to you.
Awesome. I totally couldn't take notes on that.
Well, hopefully the closed captioning will catch up with it.
Cool. So check it out. I need to wrap at 3 o'clock, which is in 12 minutes. And so far, I have one key thing that people need to overcome written down, which is people need to get over the belief that rich people are evil, right? So let's really focus in on the core beliefs that people have to have or shift, or things they need to know in order to become perfect clients, right? Do you have any clear one-liners on any of those, or should I start? How are you feeling?
I've got. So, I've got them outlined in my head, but is that what you're looking for, or do you
I
just
think that's
want to
all
dig
we have
into
time.
yours?
Yeah, we really that's all we have time for, I think, because otherwise.
Well, there's the linear learning. They've got to understand that regardless of what they're, there's always going to be a learning curve and a gap between learning something, and they're never going to have perfect clarity because of the learning gap in between, learning and doing.
So learn by believe and learn by doing.
Learn by doing, and not getting stuck in that linear learning trap of, I first got to understand everything and know it perfectly and have that perfect clarity.
Right. Okay. Yeah, what else you got?
And so connected with that is the learn by doing or experiential, that they might as well learn and do simultaneously. And so that if they're not actually applying at the same time that they're learning whatever it is that they want to do, they're truly not, they're not learning it. They're studying it. They're memorizing it to pass a test. Mm-hmm. And then we get into some of the mechanics of the, specific to us, which is the biggest issue is that people think they understand that there's three major things that they need for success online. They need traffic, people coming to their online system. They need marketing, and they need the technical know-how to do all of that. And they need a product to sell them. So, where people start they get it backwards is they start thinking about the product and all of that first. And they want to come up with the perfect, instead of gathering their audience first and building the relationship enough to have some influence and authority with them, so that there's so that they look to you for leadership and direction.
So they think about right now they think about product first, and what's number two that they currently think about?
Then it's the technical stuff.
Yep, and then what's number three?
The technical stuff ties into the marketing, which then I don't want to be in sales. I don't like, I'm not, I it's icky. It's manipulative and all of that. And that they have to sacrifice their vision and values and integrity to do so. And then the final piece is, what's up, Christopher? The final piece of that puzzle is the traffic, or the traffic, the people, the audience.
Yep. So
and that usually comes as an afterthought, if ever at all. Like, all right, now that I have all this, who am I going to sell it to? Who wants this? And now I got to create demand.
And then very often people don't even think about mindset.
No.
mindset doesn't even come. Okay, so I think so. Check it out. Check it out. So
check it out.
Right now, most new business owners, for lots of good reasons, are like, okay, I want to start a business. What am I going to sell? Like, if I'm going to do it online, what's the technology I need to sell it? Right? Oh no, I'm not techie. I can't move forward. Right.
Right.
Then they might think about marketing. Right. And then marketing tactics, marketing strategy. And then they realize, oh, I need some traffic. So where am I going to get it? Right. And by the time they get to the traffic point, they don't have any money left. And they have to go back and get a job, and now their business idea didn't work. Right.
Yeah. And it's like writing the book and, getting and then hoping that it's going to be a bestseller. Instead of but if you had a following of, that 1,000 true fans that respected you, that had, looked to you for leadership and direction, then you could pretty much write that book with them. In fact, I did it. That's how I stumbled on to the X Factor, right?
Yeah.
And you can serve them along the way and build rapport with them and build that respect factor so that you become even more of a leader, more of an authority in their eyes, and builds deeper influence. So, that's the backwards up approach. It's common day practice for you and me. That's how we think, is audience first, gathering your people together first and building the influence with them so that you've earned their attention. You've earned the right to guide them. You've earned the right to lead them in new directions.
So, okay, now we may even, one of the shifts here is we need to change the order on these, but we might even add something in. And so the first thing that needs to happen is we need to change the order.
Yep.
Okay. The second thing.
So process matters. It's like, a recipe, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally like a recipe. You put the stuff in the wrong order and you're done.
You could have all the perfect ingredients in the right amounts.
Put the cheese down on the tray first. Then
the dough.
Then you put the dough, and then you put the sauce on top and throw it in the oven and see what happens. Right? It's gonna be a mess.
Or eat it before you put it in the oven.
That's right. That's right. So change the order, change the sequence. Right? Then what are we gonna do? Well, we're actually gonna focus on traffic first. And just so you know, we're actually talking about building your audience. That's really what you're focused on. But really,
and building an authority relationship with it over time. And the thing about that is that it's up to them to elevate. You can't force them. You can't demand that they look at you with respect, but you can earn it. And it's up to them, because it's all perceived in perception in their mind. It's up to them when they decide to elevate you to the next level of that influence.
Yep. Okay. So check it out. We can keep tweaking this. So first thing we got to do is we have to change the order, right? The second thing that you need to do is you actually need a clear business plan so you can see what the heck it is you're going to build before you start going.
Isn't all of this the business plan, though?
Well, maybe it is. Again, we can change that as we go. I'm calling that the marketing strategy. Like the greater strategy for your business. You need to know what it is you're going to build, right? So when doing that, we need, and mindset, we might want to leave that out. We might want to cook it into the overall message. It might be on the list. It might not. I'm not sure, but it seems to me that we got traffic or audience first. We need to focus on finding and building the audience first. The second thing that we need to focus on is technology so that we can actually build our own audience, right? We need to know what are the tools and the technology that we're going to use it. And the third thing that we need to focus on.
And with that, it needs to be like addition by way of subtraction, like simplify, not try all this other great stuff because of that, because it's available in the very beginning, pare it down to the minimum viable technology to get the job done, given what you're looking to create.
Yep. And then we talk about products, and we haven't even gotten to the details about, are they your products and services? Are they affiliate products and services? The answer is yes to all of these things, possibly, right? So I see like what needs to shift or what they need to believe, what they need to understand. Currently, I have a list of 5 things, not including mindset. So first thing is change the order of the sequence. Second thing is develop a clear business plan and marketing strategy. Third is you need some traffic. You need to start building your audience. Fourth is you need to have the tools and technology to do it. And fifth is you need the products that you're going to sell. And I'll tell you, I want to say sixth, and this is where we need to pare it down, is you need to have a skill development, and that maybe this comes up earlier. DEVELOP. I mean, a skill development mentality, right? Basically, and this might be part of mindset, is you need to develop 3 key skills to make this work. Like, you got to develop some basic tech skills. You got to develop some basic copywriting skills. And what are the other skills? I mean, I guess you're.
Well, I mean, there's I mean, you've got to accept and understand that this isn't just lip service about building the audience first. Like, if you did nothing else but build audience first and build and focus in on serving them before and turning them into, you know, lifetime fans and clients of yours before money ever changes hands, you'll get wealthier than you ever thought of, and it'll be at the, you know, without even having to worry about your products and services. There was something. Well, I mean, they need to understand and accept, in order for this to work successfully in life, in my opinion, and definitely with us, that this is a learn and do simultaneously. As you pray, move your feet. So you've got to be willing to understand that this is a, you know, get used to feeling stupid, you know, because you're going to be trying new things that you've never done before.
That's a hard thing, man. That's a hard sell. I find out every time I say it, it's like crickets.
Yeah. But if you,
really don't like hearing that.
Yeah. But on the other hand, if you say it in the right way and they understand it, then at least when they start to feel that way downstream, when you're working with them, you can, and then they'll go, oh yeah, you know, Josh said that, Tillman said that was going to happen.
Right.
And I find actually it depends on how you, I mean, like, I don't put it in a way like, you know, like this is going to suck and you're going to be working, you know, but I do say, like, look, it's hard. You know, the good news is you probably love learning. You probably love growth, and you love trying new things and seeing new things and experiencing, you know, learning those new things. That's why you've been, you know, attracted to the personal development, spiritual development, subliminal powers of the mind type stuff. And so now the question is, like, there's still, you've got to be able to actually use that stuff to get to create the goals that you want to create the results so that you can live it versus continuing to pursue it, to seek it.
We're getting there, dude. So you want.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's getting over the linear learning, and it's accepting that what goes with at least the experiential nature of things, right? And if they understand that, and that they've got to either create for themselves or find a learn by doing framework,
right,
or create one for themselves, that's the missing piece. You know, like, you can learn all of this other stuff perfectly, but if you don't actually start to implement at the same time, that's where the real learning takes place. And that's the learning curve that is where you start to feel stupid.
Right.
And it's just because you never done it before. It's like learning a foreign language.
Right. I mean, your language is learn by doing or learn and do simultaneously. Mm-hmm. A variant that I wrote down is learn skills by practicing, not information by memorization. It's much more wordy, but it's the same basic idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's skill mastery. And the only way to skill mastery, or at least skill unconscious competence, right, where you're no longer thinking about it, where it's truly a skill for you. You may not have mastered it, but it's a skill.
Right.
And you don't have to be thinking about it consciously. It has to have an element of application, of practical application in the real world.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, you can't learn to ride a bike reading a book. It's just, no. And I think there's a famous book actually written that said something like, nobody ever learned to ride a bike in a seminar.
Right. Right. So let me see here.
Experimental experiences. Yep.
So, okay. So here's what I'm thinking, dude, is, how we're like, well, what are the things?
Not to interrupt you. I just want to let you know that it's 3:03. So I know you've got a tight.
Yeah. I'm about to go do a mad scientist experiment. So I got to hustle.
Yeah.
Okay. So rather than saying what they need to shift or what they need to learn before they become perfect clients, maybe what we could, the thing
here's
is,
the breakthrough. Here's the aha. That's,
so here's the thing. What I'm saying is we have 6 items: change the order, clear business plan, traffic, technology, products, and skill development mentality. And or learn by doing it. It's all the same thing.
Skills development. Yeah. I mean, learn by doing is a subset under the skills development. Right. Yeah. I mean, so skills development, skills proficiency.
We didn't even address money mindset stuff. Right.
But it all is really.
Well, it is. But in terms of getting really clear on who our perfect clients are and what are the 3 big shifts that they need to make in their thinking in order to be set up to crush, right? We need to pare it down. We need to clean it up. And so anyway, it's on the sheet, and I think we're close.
Cool.
So take a look. I'm going to go do a mad science experiment. We're going to make do-it-yourself, non-explosive, no heat involved lava lamps. Should be pretty cool.
Christopher just said the aha can have some haha. Absolutely. If you're not having fun at the same time, if you're not enjoying it, if you're not laughing, then what's the point?
That's right.
Like that relates back to what we were talking about earlier too. There is a way that you don't have to do it in ways that are not congruent with who you are. Anyway. All right, sir. Have fun with your mad scientist experiments.
All right. We got some good stuff. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Christopher, for all the interaction. Good to see you, Allie. Good to see you, Gene, and everyone else who didn't chime in. Good.
Thanks for joining us.
It would be great for you to say hey. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Over now. Bye-bye.
Bye.